All right, hello everybody. This is another episode of the Nothing Serious podcast, episode 14. Um, right now we have on the pod we have Miss Callie. How you doing?
Doing good.
And then we have a newcomer, Mr. Dion.
How y'all doing?
So basically, today's podcast we're going to dive into some things. It's going to be a little bit lighter than what we usually talk about, but you know, we're open to different different topics. So I'll dive right in. There was a video that was going viral where a guy went to drop his kid off a Happy Meal, and the baby mama got mad because the guy didn't bring the other kids food, which were not his kids. The only one that he was responsible for was the one that he brought for, and she had a problem with it. So, my question to you guys is, was he wrong for not buying all the kids food, or was he right for just buying his kid food and not worrying about the other kids? So I want to get y'all take on that. We're gonna start off with Callie.
Oh goodness. Always ladies first, huh?
Well,
No.
if you want to, I'll give you a little time to think about it. We can talk to Mr. Dion.
Oh no, I've got an opinion.
Okay, okay, okay.
No, I would say I think he's wrong simply because
Hmm.
if you buy for one, you need to buy for all. Okay. In that case, he should have bought a pizza or something that could be shared. Or he could have taken his child and taken him to get something to eat and brought him back home. That I mean, that would eliminate all the issues with everybody else saying that they're hungry or whatnot. Or gave her some money to feed everybody. Something a family style meal. Just a thought.
Okay. All right. Dion, what do you think, sir?
You know what? I'm gonna adjust my opinion because Callie just introduced something that made me think. So she brought up a good point. He could have done that. Like, hey, here's a pizza for everybody. My initial thought was that, hey, this is your child. You're only obligated for this child. And say she has two other kids
Mm-hmm.
by one or more other guys, and say you're the responsible parent, the other ones aren't. Now, are you responsible for making up for what these other parents aren't doing? Whatever. So it's my thoughts are, hey, this is my child, and I'm responsible for this one. This is the one I'm going to take care of. I'm not responsible for these other kids that aren't mine. But uh, I don't know. It's tricky because especially if they're like little kids, because now how does that keep going? It's like, what happens when your kid's a teenager, you're ready to buy a car. It can be
Mhm.
complex, but at the end of the day, the cold hard fact of it is that it's your money and it's your kid, and you can do whatever you want to do with it. And I don't know, it could be a slippery slope, because it could
Right.
be, like, where does it end? It's like, okay, you bought your kids some clothes. It's like, what? Why you didn't buy my kids some clothes? The other kids some clothes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you know what? And the thing is, like you said, that is a slippery slope because once you start factoring in all the school supplies the kids need, like are you gonna buy all the kids school supplies and uh, then and I'm definitely not if I had a child with a lady who had multiple children by multiple dads. Uh, I'm not going to buy a car for each one of those kids just
No.
because. No, no, of course not. But to some extent, you're saying that he should consider the other kids when he buys things for his child. So it kind of it if for me, this is what I feel. I feel like you're responsible for the child that you have with that with that lady. And so you are supposed to take care of that child, only that child. Now, there could be if the child's mother is having like some kind of financial difficulties or something like that, then you could do her a solid and buy a whole pizza, and then all the kids can share it. But it's not really your obligation to take care of those other kids at all.
And it's not. I agree with you with that. But I say food is definitely different than clothing and school supplies and things of that nature. Because I mean, if she's like you said, she may be having financial difficulties.
Yeah,
it ain't gonna break you. But everybody gets something. You're not trying to feed everybody in the neighborhood, but at least your child and his siblings will be okay, at least for the night.
Okay, all right. I can see how that it's one of those things that people debated on, and some people were on the side of the mother, like you should buy for all the kids, and then some was on the side for the dad. It's one of those things. Like it really is there a wrong answer?
If they were still together, yes, he would have to buy for everybody, no doubt.
Yeah.
But since they're not, he's not obligated to do that for everybody. Just as a kind gesture, whether you like her or not anymore. Like I said, a pizza would be sufficient.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Here's something. You could test it, and you can say, okay, hey, you know what? I'm gonna buy a pizza, and you can sit and see how that lands, and to see if that's like, okay, are you setting a precedence to see like, okay, does this woman expect me to do this like every time now? Where if like if I'm eating,
And that's why I said then you just need to take your child or children, however many he may have with her, and go somewhere else, and bring them back later. Is that fair? Not always.
Yeah. And that's another question. Okay, so like say for instance, we have that scenario where the mother has multiple kids by multiple dads, and then you have one or more kids that's father that doesn't do anything for them at all. Is it wrong for like the fathers who do things for their kids to take just his child to amusement park or something like that, and leave out the other kids? And this guy knows that the other kids' fathers are not active. So, what is he wrong for taking his kid out to do these activities and then don't?
Not necessarily. That's an added bonus, but it's not. I don't think it's a requirement. Like I said, unless they're together. Other than that, no.
I think that one of the issues that it generates though is you're creating what's the word I'm looking for? An uneasy, I guess, environment, because it's like you're doing this and you're taking your kid and you're going to do your thing, coming back. Well, now your kid has to live in that, because especially at any age, whether they're 6 or 10 or 16 or whatever, kids kind of recognize like, hey, like you got all this going on. Your dad is taking care of you. Our dad ain't, so what kind of environment are you, not to say you're responsible for it, but I think the reality of it is it creates that. I don't think most kids have the maturity to recognize that, okay, hey, that's just life, that it is what it is. That, you can create jealousy and envy and some hostility, because it's like, man, we ain't got nothing, and you over here living good.
I hear you on that, but on the flip side, if that father was not doing anything for him or for that child, how would that be? if he's, you know, even if he's present or he's in even in the same city or block, and you see him, but he doesn't do anything for the child because you don't want to cause a division between the siblings.
Oh no, I'm not saying that you shouldn't do it. I guess I'm just saying that I guess that you have to be aware of that. Like, man, this is you know, it's kind of like really a bad situation all the way around. It doesn't seem like there's like an out. Like I think that I think the only out is like, you know what, I'm gonna go and get custody of this kid. I'm going to remove him out of this with me, and he ain't even got to deal with your shortcomings and other stuff.
Yeah, I could see that too. It's definitely a catch-22.
Yeah, yeah. Because I remember seeing another video where this lady got mad because her ex had picked up her son, and she had multiple kids with multiple dads, and he bought the son a PlayStation 5, and he made the son keep the PlayStation 5 at his house. And so the mother got mad because the kid was coming back telling the other kids, like, well, I played PlayStation 5 and, you know, we got these games and all this stuff. So she ordered the son to bring the game system home with him the next time he came home so the other kids would have something to do. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, that's why.
That ain't happening.
Go ahead.
That ain't happening.
Right.
Yeah. That's why it's very important to know who you're dealing with and who you're getting pregnant. Okay, because that definitely was not, you know, something that I wouldn't let my son take the game system home.
No.
You know, because I bought that with my hard-earned money, and he's gonna play it at my house.
Yeah. How you say, it's mine. I let him play on it.
Yes. Yes. Okay. All right. So that was good. Good discussion right there. Okay. So my show is mostly a dating show. Like, you know, it talks about love, sex, and relationships and all that stuff. So I have a question. When you're dating someone, people have a tendency of not being forthcoming with some of their baggage per se. And when
What's
you're
going
dating,
on?
what's going on, Mr. Scott? I'm a back up a little bit, then I'll go to the next question. Mr. Scott, there was a video that went viral of a guy who was dating, had a baby with a lady who had multiple baby daddies, but he just bought his kid something to eat and then bring the other kid something to eat. Was he wrong for not bringing those kids something to eat, or should he have brought something to eat for those kids just out of courtesy of the situation?
He taking care of his kid. I mean, it'd be nice if he did it, but not required whatsoever, you know. And I'm sorry, you know, if he would have been, you know, he could have been nice and maybe pulled him to the side and gave him that food. But no, he's not required whatsoever to bring them other kids food. And if they starving to the point where, you know, they looking at him eating food and they didn't get no food, that's on the mama, you know. He shouldn't feel bad about that, you know, because he might have just had food for his son and that's it. You know what I'm saying? So he shouldn't feel guilty about that at all.
Yeah. He might have just enough money to buy just his kids some food. Yes. That's correct. Because for who knows, he could have been paying child support.
Yep.
So And you know, and anybody who has paid child support before knows that sometimes that you know the money don't come as often as you would like.
No, he get backed up all the time, you know.
Okay. All right. So my next question is, when you're dating someone, should you pour out all your baggage up front, or and is that considered being deceitful, or are you just protecting your feelings? Like, you know, like I'm not gonna tell about certain things that from my past because it, you know, may cause issue in our relationship or whatever, or you know, with us dating. So when people don't be forthcoming with their uh, I'm trying to think of the way to say it. They're not forthcoming with information when they're dating. Should should they tell the person or should they not tell the person?
Well, let me ask you this, Marzel.
Uh
If I'm
huh.
dating a woman,
Uh
can I tell a woman I like Power Rangers?
huh. Not off the bat. Not off the bat. You tell her after you make her orgasm, then you can tell her.
You tell her that if you don't like her, because that's a good way to get rid of her.
Yeah.
Dion always be messing with Marzel because he would give me some dating advice, and he was like, "Look, when you date any women, don't tell me you into that Power Rangers shit." I was like, "What?" I was like, "Duly noted." That's why I always mess with him when he do
Yeah,
that.
that's a perfect example.
Yeah.
That's a perfect example. Should you
Yeah,
should you
but
let the ladies know what you are into before in beginning stages of dating, or wait until after you have cuffed her?
right, right.
If
And
you have
I
a
guess the
like-minded
first thing,
relationship,
what'd you say, Callie?
I said, if you have a like-minded person in this relationship, tell them all you want.
All right.
Yes,
Now, with
right.
that being said, I don't want the woman I'm dating to be too much like me, like born the same as I was, and then had to cut off. I don't want that. No, I don't get down like that. So just me. It's okay if somebody else wants it like that. That's cool, but you know, I like Pussy Prime. They had to have one when they was born. So, uh,
Yeah.
Original parts.
yeah, exactly. An O, not an OG, but OV, original vagina. Um,
Yeah. Right,
so,
right, right.
I
so
think
other than that, I don't know. I know we joking, but there was an individual that I was with, and she didn't tell me stuff until we got into a serious relationship. I just put it like that, and then it was too late then, and then it caused problems. So,
Yeah.
um,
And,
yeah,
and the
I'm
thing
not
is,
saying. What'd you say?
and the thing is, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I was going to say that any information that you know would disqualify that person from being in a relationship with you from the get, should that person tell you that information, or should they just not tell you until the right time? And is that being deceitful, or is that just being cautious with, the information?
Well, that's a tough question too. Let's just say if they have HIV, and they might be embarrassed with that, but it's like maybe the first two dates or something, but once they see it's getting heated, especially if they like, hey, I'm sexually attracted to you, but they need to say, I'm gonna just let you know I have HIV or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm not talking about that. That's what I was saying. They should. I'm just talking about like things like that's not so serious from their past. Like.
Like they had but what they call it, the body count or something like that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
body count, or it could be, uh, things that you did that you might not be proud of, cheating, and just different things.
Yeah. I don't know. Some stuff that I don't care about, maybe everybody then, slid off to the side and maybe cheated every once in a while. So, it just depends on what it is. If you've been like as you said, serious stuff, even if you've been institutionalized in a mental facility, I need to know stuff like that, you
Yeah,
know. But stuff like your body count, that's just experience to me. I don't them YNs care about that stuff. I don't,
I don't.
you know.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that means she knows what to do with it. So, I don't know. It just depends on what it is.
Okay, Dion, I'm gonna go with you. What do you think, man?
I think that when you first meet someone, you're trying to build a foundation because you might discover after one or two dates that this is not even a person that is worthy of you sharing yourself. I mean, we're very dynamic and complex people. You don't meet somebody and say, "Hey, let's go to dinner," or let's go for coffee," and you just spill it all out. You need to know, hey, can this person even process who I am and stuff like that? Is this somebody that's trustworthy? Like you're still getting to know them. So I think you got to build that foundation before you can even start getting into things I've done in the past and other things like that. It's I think if you do it too soon, I mean, because think about it, put yourself in that position. You take somebody out and you're sitting there and they're just divulging all this stuff. You're like, whoa, wait a minute. Like I don't even know what your favorite color is. I don't even know, uh,
Right.
anything about you. Like, hey, where'd you go to high school or stuff like that? And you're telling me about all this other stuff. Like, let's build up to that, And it doesn't take 6 months to do it, but it shouldn't be like in the first couple of dates. Let me see, because
Yeah.
after the first date, you might realize that yeah, I'm not. You know what? I don't even care for this person. So I'm not even gonna waste my time telling you who I am or anything about me because I don't see a future past this date.
Okay. All right. Callie.
I would have to agree with Dion. I, there's no need to tell me everything all at once. You know,
Yes. Yeah.
it's it's not. I guess it's all about timing.
Yes.
All
Yes.
about the timing of it. So
Yeah. And the thing is, sometimes like I've been told that I've been too honest, and I've been too honest too soon. Like to give an example, like I have went into situations where I have told people about you know about my baby's mother and why I got custody of my kids. Sometimes that shit is is unavoidable because people ask, well, what happened? How did you get custody of your kids? Then you have to go down the rabbit hole. You know what I'm saying? Well, this happened, and sometimes I what I have learned is that with dating, you just keep it very general. You be
yeah,
like, hey, well, she did some things that wasn't right in the court's eyes, and I got custody of the kids, and boom, that's it. It gets straight to the point, and but it doesn't divulge too much information.
right.
So
Mm-hmm.
that's where I really had struggled with, because I'm a very transparent person, you know. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um
Half the time I tell these women, I like to, link up with them, be they Facebook or social media friend, because social media really tell you all you need to know about their personality, about what they post, you know.
Yes and no.
okay.
Okay.
Social media,
Explain.
social media is what you project. So because a
Mm.
lot of, as we all know, like one of my favorite quotes from social media is people on social media act like we don't know them in real life. And we all know people that what we see, it ain't them. It's like, no, you ain't living like that. You ain't that confident. You know, and in a lot of cases, like you don't even look like that in real life. But so
Yeah.
to me, a lot of times with a lot of people, social media is the projection of what they want us to believe who they are.
Yep, that can be true. You know, um, some stuff what they post. You know, if I see it on there, like I see sometimes I'll scroll down there and they be like, "Yeah, and this bitch was doing this, but I don't give no f because I'm the baddest b word." I be like, "Up, swipe left." You
Yeah.
know, this is not if they post a lot of ghetto stuff, and you know, and it might be their projection and. Some people watch like reality shows where they be fighting each other, and it's just a vice to them. But you know, I don't want to be with anybody who, you know, like their whole existence is based upon arguing, fussing, fighting, being ghetto. You know, that turns me off. So they should be turned off by that stuff too, you know? So I think Marzell asked that one time. It was like, what would be an automatic knockout for a woman? And I'm not into ghetto women. I'm not into that, you know, snapping fingers and being loud stuff. So, you know, if I see that's what you're about, I gotta drop you, you know?
Okay, that's that. Actually, that's a good question. I know we have talked about that before, but I would like to get Dion's opinion. Like, what is well, let me ask you: Are you married or single or what?
I'm married.
Okay, so this don't apply to you then.
I ain't always been married though. I mean, you know, like you get
Okay.
married and you forget.
Okay, okay, all right.
I wasn't born married, you know.
Okay, all
I
right.
don't know
So,
about that.
so when you were single,
Yeah.
what was a instant turn off to you when you saw a female do a certain activity?
Being too like what's the word for it? Like too focused on himself. What's the word for that? It's like too
Conceited?
conceited. Yeah, too conceited, and it's like, hey, it's all about me, and you know, stuff like that, and just just not being a good person, somebody that's like mean or somebody that's like um talking crazy about people, just like say, you go to dinner and they're talking crazy about the staff or the servers and other stuff like that. And it's like, okay, noted. Like these are the people that's here to help you. They're bringing you stuff. Yeah, we paying them, but they're here to, so yeah, just people that just have an ugly spirit about them. And sometimes they don't even really have to say much. You can just pick up on it. It's like, yeah, this person is not, they're not a good person.
Okay. We got Angie B in the building. How you doing, Angie?
Hey, hey, everybody.
So,
Hello.
All right. So I'm gonna back up a little bit and talk about what we talked about. Okay, so Angie, uh there was a clip that went viral about a guy who went to bring his kid some McDonald's, but he didn't bring the other kids of McDonald's because they weren't his kids. There was the baby mama had different baby daddies, and he just brought his kids some food and didn't think about the other kids. Was he wrong for just bringing his kid food, or should he have brought all of them food?
He's dating the woman that has children by different men, correct? I just want to
No,
make sure
he's
I'm
not. He
clear.
wasn't dating her. It was just him bringing his kids some food because she didn't have the money to buy all the kids food.
Okay. You don't mistreat children based on adult choices. So you bring everybody. Maybe he didn't need to get a burger. Maybe he needed to get a 24-piece chicken nugget so everybody can have some chicken nuggets. But you don't show disparity with children. That's my opinion.
Okay. Now I'm a piggyback off of that. What Mr. Dion said. He said that could be a slippery slope because what if the the kids get older and then you know, one of them want a car, so is he supposed to buy all of them a car because uh, of that? Or when it comes to school supplies, do you buy all his kids school supplies because the other fathers aren't stepping up? I mean, it's not really his responsibility.
In my opinion, a car, no, but school supplies, yes. I believe that if you have it, then you bless people with what you have. You're gonna get it back tenfold.
Anybody else want to chime in on her opinion?
Well, I
No.
would say that, like, what are the other baby daddies doing? It's kind of like, I guess it's kind of like they wouldn't do their part because they know that there's another dude that will, if they don't do it, that the other dude will, pick up the slack, so to speak. So, it's kind of like one of them things too. I understand what you're saying, you know, but it's a certain amount of responsibility, like where their daddy's at. You know what I'm saying? Why aren't they giving them stuff too?
Well, I'll say this. I have two children, but I've had probably dozens of children. And throughout my life, there have always been children that, you know, have not had a surplus of things. And I just always felt like, for me, children are innocent. I never look at what somebody, for me, I don't look at what somebody's doing, what somebody should be doing. If I got it and a child is involved, no child is going to be hungry on my watch. You know what I'm saying? School supplies,
Exactly.
uh, I mean, children need to have resources to go to school. You know, one thing that I do, and Marzell, you can attest to this, if I know about resources, I tell people. You know, in my city, um, there was giveaways on school supplies. There was a place called Goddess of the Sea that was giving away female products. Marzell, I think I had told you about that. You
Yeah.
know, yeah, so that's how I do it. But children, they don't ask for the circumstances that they're in. And, I was a kid one time and there were elders that helped my mom that was a single parent. And so, you pay it forward. And that's how you get your blood. Just being a good person. I'm trying to go to heaven. So for me, I'm not saying you ain't going to heaven. Anybody that doesn't do it. But for me, I just feel like children don't ask for the circumstances that they're in. And if I can help, I'm going to. It's that simple for me.
Okay. And and that's the reason why we had this podcast, is because it gives people's different perspective on how things are. I mean, I didn't think about it from that way. I was just looking at, like, the father is taking up, is taking on his responsibility and doing what he's supposed to do for his child. And if the other fathers aren't stepping up, then they need to step up. So I understand what you're saying. It makes sense.
I guess to meet halfway between everybody here, what that father needs to do is pick that child up, feed him, and then bring him back so he won't be eating in front of the other kids. I guess you could
Yeah.
do it that way.
Yeah, I said the same thing, but
Yeah.
also, what Angie said, you can't leave no kids hungry. Like I
Yeah.
said, you buy a pizza, that'll that
Yeah.
should do it.
Yeah.
Because if she can't feed one, 9 times out of 10, she can't feed the other ones.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead, Vanaris.
Yeah, I understand what everybody's saying, but it's kind of like, if you're just dating this girl and then you gotta, well, oh, you already got a baby by her. So I mean, I don't know. It's just a big responsibility to take care of. She got 5 kids and you can barely feed one. And jobs is kind of scarce nowadays. So if you can barely feed you and your other child, I don't think you should feel guilty not feeding the other ones. You know what I'm saying? Because you didn't cause that. You didn't cause those other children to be born. And if what if she has three other children by three other men? Do you gotta pick up the slack for those other three men too? So that'd be eight children you gotta feed just in order to feed one. As far as being fair, I think that it's not being unfair just to feed that one child. Now, if you want to go the extra mile and feed them, yeah, I mean, that's great. You know what I'm saying? But that's just like me going into a daycare and I'm giving lunch for my child for lunch, and then there's 20 other children who are starving and looking at my child. I don't feel like I should feed the other 20 in the daycare. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's nice that you want to feed other children, but it's not fair. I mean, that
Well,
in the perfect world, I would accept y'all answer, but this is not. And so that's just how I feel about it.
well, can I interject on that real quick? So, I want to use the example of my son plays sports, and there was 90% of the time, always at least two or three kids that didn't have stuff, didn't have shoes, didn't have food, stuff like that, right? So when we would go on, like if we traveled somewhere, I always had a big truck. So I would always take on the kids that didn't have. And so instead of going out to eat, I would always cook like chicken. Chicken goes far. You know what I'm saying? I would always cook stuff that spreads. And for me, it was never, oh, my son gets, the royal treatment because I got it. But Johnny over here, I would always just cook food to spread. Baked beans, okay? You know what I'm saying? And ration the food. Um, that's how I always just did. For me, my conscience just would not allow me to take my kid and we go eat and then I go back and see these other kids hungry. And I guess for me, because I know people that children that are hungry. I've seen people that have been homeless. So my conscience just wouldn't allow that.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
that's just me. Like I said, chicken, bologna, you know what I'm saying? A hot dog. Like we're not talking
Yes.
about giving steak. I'm just saying a child eating. I grew up very poor. You know what I'm saying? I ate a burnt bologna sandwich a lot. So I guess this is a sensitive topic for me because there was
Mhm.
definitely people in my neighborhood that was like, hey, I ain't got a lot, but here's a burnt bologna sandwich.
Yeah. No, I get it. I totally get it. What you saying makes sense. It makes total sense.
There's a lot of what ifs and other factors in this because I think the one thing we can all agree on, and I think we all have kids, is that kids are expensive. You
Yeah.
know,
Yes.
the price alone of kids is almost like an effective form of birth control. It's it, it's incredible, and it's not getting cheaper. So you're factoring in too is like, okay, what are you already doing for this kid or whatever? Because you might be like, hey, I'm already paying you child support and all this other stuff too. So you got, the factor of like, hey, what are you already doing? But another thing too is that, hey, if I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing and these other guys aren't, is like, is it my role to come in and fix that? It's like, I have a thing where it's like, I don't mind helping anybody because we all at some point need help, but I'm really not into saving people. And if in this scenario, if this woman has, had kids with some dudes that's irresponsible or they're not doing what they're supposed to do, then I'm sorry, I don't. That's her situation that she's suffering from the consequences of her decisions. Now, if it's one of these kids and their dad has passed away or something, and they don't have a dad, then I'm certainly more open to like, hey, I get that. This kid needs help or whatever, and I might even be willing to extend myself to being some type of father figure for that kid also. But yeah, if you just running out there and you having kids with dudes that ain't about nothing and they ain't helping with nothing, I don't know if I get the kids are gonna suffer, but hey, I got a kid that I gotta focus on. I gotta do stuff, if you're making bad decisions and this is what you're left with, I don't know. I don't know if I got too much sympathy for that.
Well, let me
Right.
put this PSA out there if I can. And I have personally done this myself because I have hit hard times with children. And there's also food banks. New Birth, I'm in Georgia. New Birth on certain Saturdays of the month. I have personally gone there and gotten food for me and my children. So, everybody can feel the way they want to feel, and I'm not making any judgments and stuff, but you never know, you know, the loss of one job can take people out of their circumstances, and you could be that
Absolutely.
person that's hungry. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
that's all I'm just saying is that, there are food banks and stuff too. So even if you don't want to spend money out of your own pocket, you can maybe go and take these people to the food banks. Churches have food banks, but
Right.
like we talking about eating or not eating. That's what all I'm just saying. I ain't talking
Yeah.
about buying nobody clothes and stuff. I'm talking about nutrition. In the summertime, in case nobody knows this, and I have put people onto this, kids that don't have lunches, a lot of times kids only eat when school was in. But there are programs for people in the summertime where you can still get that food for your children. So there are resources available also.
Yeah.
Well, if we're talking about nutrition and food, if I had a baby by a woman and she's got 5 kids, and I bought my child a hamburger and French fries, $12 meal, and I come home and he eats it by himself, and I see her children are starving, and I give them a pack of bologna and some bread. That's feeding them, right? So I
Yeah, I'm
mean,
okay with it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
okay. So
Yeah.
I thought it was like, if I buy my child a meal deal, I have to buy all of them a meal deal. I thought that's what the conversation was about. But
Oh,
Well,
maybe I misunderstood. Okay, maybe I got it
well,
wrong.
well,
I'm
I
sorry.
did too. I did too. So you're not the only one. So you
yeah,
know,
yeah. No, I mean that is what the question was. But the thing is, there's so many different layers to that. You know, so it's different ways that they could have fit. The guy just bought his kids some food and then bring the other kids any food. So it's different ways you can look at that. But that
yeah.
was but that was really really good. I really um, it really gave a new perspective on that thing because I didn't think about it that way.
Mhm.
Um, because last year me and my kids struggled a real a lot, and sometimes I didn't have the money to feed my kids the way that they're supposed to be fed, and I had people step in and send money and and help me out. So yeah, it really really it gave me a new perspective on the whole thing.
Yep. I've
Yeah,
been there too.
yeah, because that's what I'm
Mhm.
saying. Like you never think it can happen, and it can happen. And that,
Oh yeah,
Marcel, I've been there too.
yeah,
So that's why I
yeah,
shared that. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Me personally, I have I have fed kids that wasn't mine, so it is what it is, But um, the next question that I had is when you're dating someone, should you put everything out on the table right away, or should you just wait to tell the person when the time is right? And is that being deceitful?
Mhm.
Angie?
Well,
Everybody else answered that question. So,
so what's the clarification of everything? I guess I would need more
well, it's just
clarification of.
we're not talking about nothing too serious, but something that you just wouldn't divulge on the first date. Should you just put everything out there from the beginning, or should you just wait until a person, some vital information? I don't know what that looks like. It could be, uh, you know, body count, could be um, ailment that you have. You might have irritable bowel syndrome. Should you tell the person that? What I'm saying? Like,
Well,
like do you have high blood pressure? Diabetes. I mean, just
Yeah.
should you tell the person your whole, everything?
Yeah.
oh,
This is hilarious.
So y'all have already answered. I'm up next. Y'all have already answered.
Yes.
Okay,
Mhm.
so no, I think that you know the Bible says sometimes you don't even tell a bird. I don't think everybody deserves to know everything about you. It's
Okay.
case by case. So as you progress, you get more information.
Mhm.
I don't think it's deceptive. I just think people have to earn um, trust.
Okay.
yeah.
So you don't agree with telling everything?
No, I don't.
Okay. Okay. All right. Anybody? Does anybody else want to say anything about that topic, or are we good?
No, we're good.
I'm laughing because I'm picturing in my head somebody sitting at dinner and they're going down all these ailments, and somebody's thinking like, man, this person is gonna die before the end of the dinner. It's like,
Right, Dion.
yeah,
Exactly. Right.
it's like check please. It's like we just get you to a hospital.
Right.
Oh man. Okay.
And half the time it ain't the right questions we ask. Because I'm telling you, if you ever wanted to get in a serious relationship and you start liking them, start asking them questions about her relatives. Because your in-laws is what's gonna make or break a long-term relationship.
Mm.
Because if
If
she
they
got that
can.
that dude who been in drugs, been on
Mm.
drugs and stuff, or been in jail, and not to stereotype people like that, but I'm just saying, you know, you need to know where she came from, what kind of people she with, and stuff like that. So that some people be funny. They be like, look at their mama, so you can see what she gonna look like in 30 years.
If that were only true.
Okay. Or Angie has some stuff that she wanted to ask. Do you still want to ask or no?
Well, I actually have a new question I want to bring up because
Okay.
this
Okay. Go ahead.
recently came up. I had this discussion with somebody. Okay, so I'll just use myself as this prototype. So I've never had chicken pox, right? I'm in my 50s, and so in your 50s, they usually encourage you to get the shingles vaccination, right?
Hmm.
So if you've had chicken pox, and don't throw tomatoes at me, I'm just giving facts. If you've had chicken pox or shingles, that is a form of herpes, right?
Correct.
Yes.
Okay. So I had this discussion with people. So for me, I can't get the shingles vaccination because I've never had chicken pox. And anytime you get a vaccination, you're putting whatever you're trying to prevent into your body, right?
Hmm.
Correct.
Okay.
So it's a
Yeah.
So
it's a weakened or dead version of the virus. So go ahead.
correct,
Correct.
correct, correct. So the question that I have is, and I've had this discussion with people, if someone has cold sores or they've had chicken pox, they've had shingles, or let's say that they ended up with some form of herpes outside of just having sex. Like let's say it was even from like the person in particular I know, their mother was a junkie. So they got it from the transmission of their mother. Is
Hmm.
that something that you owe to tell people that you're dating or not?
Well, I will say that medically speaking, and that guy who Adam destroys. I forgot, he's a comical dude on True TV. He talked about this in a what's a name, how the herpes has gotten its I forgot what you call it, but 90 in the end, he said 90% of the world's population has some form of herpes whatsoever. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So it's kind of like he in the end he said if you don't have it, you're the weird one. You know what I'm saying? So that's what he said at the end. If you don't have it, you're the weird one. And a lot of people who say I don't have it have never been tested. So it's kind of like saying, have you had the cold virus before? I can't date you because you have the cold virus. Everybody has had it in one form or another. Like you said, shingles. If you had chicken pox, you're going to come up positive. If you've had, cold sores, which is extremely common with women, over 80% of women have had cold sores.
Wait a minute. Where are you getting that?
I've
Look
never-
it up.
I've
Look it
never-
up.
I don't know
I
if
mean,
you guys
it-
saw Callie's facial expression of that. She was like,
No, but Norris,
Look it
I've
up on the
never-
CDC
I've
website.
never-
It's on the
Bernard, I've
CDC
never had
website.
any
Oh.
of these, and I'm asking
you
from
don't
the
need security.
I'm asking from the case of like what could kill me, not so much. And I want to make sure that I say this right. I'm not. What drew my interest to this after I had this discussion with somebody that just got the shingles vaccination and their mother was a junkie and they got it from transmission. There are dating sites on Facebook where there is a community of people and they're welcoming in new members every day. I don't know if y'all knew this or not. I was fascinated when I looked at this. And people are talking about the way that they got the transmission. So it is more common, but there are still people that have never tested positive. I just want to say that though.
Mhm.
I mean,
Well, this is the thing. So this is, I was in the nursing school at one time, so I have done my research on this particular situation, and it is very, very common. 3 out of 4 people have some form of herpes. It's very common. One, either you have simplex 1, and that's the cold sore, or you have simplex 2, which is genital herpes. But one can cause 2 and 2 can cause 1.
Mhm.
So if you have
But do you
cold
owe
sore,
it to tell
hold,
people? Yeah, I'm
hold
sorry.
on, hold on.
Mhm.
You can give somebody oral sex and have a oral have it on your lip and give that person genital herpes, or that person can eat or perform oral sex on a person and don't have or simplex 1 and catch simplex 1 from giving the person who had simplex 2. So it's just like it's interchangeable. So
Correct.
one person can give it to the next. And condoms don't stop it either. Condoms is one of those things that condoms do not prevent you from getting herpes. So it's just one. It's just one of those things.
So I wanted to interject 2 things. One, Angie, check your data on that. I think the shingles vaccine. I think if you've had chickenpox, I think it increases your chance of getting the shingles. But I don't think you'd have to have, if I understand it correctly, you don't have to have had chickenpox to get shingles. I think just having had it increases your odds. I don't think because you haven't had chickenpox that you are exempt from getting shingles. If I understand it correctly. And then the other thing is, when I was like 19 or 20, about maybe 20, in the military, and we're on ship, and everybody, people kind of like, hey, what you drinking in your cup or whatever. Long story short, I had a cold sore on my lip, and I was like, I had never had a cold sore. Go to the doctor, they tell me, and they say, hey, this is a form of herpes. And I freaked out, like, what? Like, and they was like, hey, calm down, man. It's a cold sore. And they said that the downside to it is that it lives in your system. It's like in your spine or spinal cord or something.
Mhm.
But until you just mentioned it right now, and that was 36, maybe 37 years ago, I've never had a cold sore again since then. I don't even think about it. So I've never even thought to tell somebody, hey, just so you know, 30 years ago I had a cold sore. It's just,
Right.
I think it's probably like anything else. It's like if I had a cold sore, you know, I wouldn't kiss my wife because I wouldn't want her to have it. But it's kind of like one of those things for me. It's just I never thought about it because it ain't been an issue since then.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And that's the way that viruses work. They usually hide off in the nerve cells where your white blood cells and your antibodies can't get to. And like he said, usually only if it comes out, you know what I'm saying, it only comes out during times of intense stress. It doesn't cause any health risk unless you're already sick with something else. And if it does, that means you have immunodeficiency problem. So that's why they're not pushing for. It's more like a skin rash. It's more of a faux pas than anything else because they make it seem like it's the nasty person's disease, which it's something like I said. It's just something that. And I put a picture up that I wanted to share from. I don't know if it's you see it, Marzel.
Yeah, I see
You
it.
know, yeah, from Wikipedia, and it says that over 90% of the world's population has it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
mean, and a lot of people have never been tested, and it's because of the stigmata. That's the word I was looking for. They make it seem like an STD, which is not. I mean, technically it is,
Yes.
but then it has to. So it's not worth. I put it that way. Everybody has it, and it's like not worth even talking about it. You know what I'm saying? So you know,
Uh,
it's just I don't know. You know. So,
I'll say.
but if it's HIV or something, that's a little bit more prevalent. You know what I'm saying? So, a lot of people have what you call that what's the bacteria infection that can get up in you
Meningitis.
Meningitis.
it's a meningitis too. It's a sexually transmitted disease. Um, Syphilis. Yeah, a
Oh,
lot of people have syphilis and don't even know it because they don't show symptoms. But that can be easily taken away with antibodies, what I'm saying, antibiotics. So
Mhm.
it's more of I mean, like I said, I don't know. It's just not something that's alarming. I'll put it that way.
So
It's
you don't
alarming.
feel. Go ahead. Go ahead,
No,
Callie.
no,
I
go
want
ahead, Angie.
no. But so the question is whether it is active or not. Is that
Right.
something that you need to tell somebody? If because you're, I feel like we're making the assumption everybody's had it, and I'm saying everybody hasn't. So for me, I just feel like if I choose to let somebody give me head and they have an open sore and they may not realize it, then they've given it to me. I just feel like it should just be a choice. You know, I may be like, okay, don't stop doing the head. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, but I'm just saying. I just feel like the discussion should be there to give me the choice if I want to move forward with this or not. That's all I'm saying.
yeah. Well, just tell them don't use their lips. Just only use their tongue.
No. That no. No. Oh, a dental
Uh,
a
Hilarious.
dental dam
hey,
will help.
hey, look, They be like,
See.
Hey,
Ah,
or you can do like on the movie, get the saran wrap out.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
gonna say
yeah.
a dental dam would help.
restricted head.
Mm-mm. You know what?
No, not that way. Not. Yeah, okay, that way. There you go.
yeah.
Do the alphabet.
Yeah.
See.
Oh man,
Lord
that is
help.
funny. But yeah, that's a good question. Okay. There was another question that you wanted to ask Angie. or did you change your mind?
You can go ahead. I'm trying to remember what it was. It's been a long week. Let me see. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see. Oh, okay. I had two other questions. Can you be in a relationship but talk to other people on the phone because you like to talk?
Yes.
Is that emotional cheating? Like if your partner doesn't like to talk, but you're a talker, is that emotional cheating if you are like on the phone with all these other people?
No.
I think I'm gonna let everybody else answer, then I'll answer. Benares, what do you think?
Well, it depends. If I'm in a committed relationship with somebody, then that means I trust you. And as long as you don't give me a means to not trust you. Now, if you say it was an ex-boyfriend or something like that, but you got to understand too. I mean, just being honest, a lot of men are women's friends. I'm not saying all of them because I got female friends left and right that I don't have any interest in. But a lot of men are just waiting their turn. That's why they're quote unquote friends. Because a lot of them, the women will say, "No, I'm not interested in you, but we can just be friends and talk." So a lot of men are waiting their turn. So I would say, if you're in a committed relationship, be careful with what male friend are you are being with. I hate to be negative toward men, but yeah, a lot of men are just waiting for their turn. They're waiting for you to say, "Hey, I broke up with him," and they want to slide up in there. You know what I'm saying? So be careful with who you if you're in a committed relationship. Um, as far as jealousy, I guess the question that you're getting to, like I said, if I'm in love with you and I trust, if I'm in love with you, that means I trust you. So, you know, but I still wouldn't want you talking to a whole bunch of dudes, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? If I can't talk to you, then you're not my girlfriend. Because that's my definition of a girlfriend, somebody who I'm required to talk to, but who I love to talk to every day. So that's just my opinion.
Okay. Okay. That's a good answer.
Dion?
Man, y'all got a bunch of slippery slope topics today because that's first of all, that's the two-way street because people, not men or just women, but people can be very crafty. And you get those people that recognize that they may see the potential or they may just want this person and they see like, okay, this person ain't being taken care of. And they see the opportunity. And people can be very cunning and slick and and it's slowly like just luring you in, and then you don't even see it. And you built up this rapport, and what comes to mind is if you guys remember the movie Jungle Fever, they
Mm-hmm.
worked together. They started off as coworkers, and then they just started building this bond, and you building the bond, and you building the bond, and next thing you know, you sharing personal things and stuff. And uh, some years ago, well, many years ago, uh, I had a coworker like that, and she was married, and we would just meet at lunch. We would just be talking and we kind of developed and had a situation going but it started with us just having very simple conversations and it just went from there. Then it went to a place that it shouldn't have went to, but it did. But I'm saying that's how it happens. And you got people that pray, you got men that can recognize that, yeah, 'cause people start divulging stuff and it's like, yeah, her man don't appreciate her, and they feed off of that. It's like, yeah, getting attention at home, I'm gonna give her that attention. Hey, man, you looking good today. You giving compliments and stuff like that, and you building her up. And same thing, women can do that for men, and I think women almost have like an even sharper intuition into that to recognize that it's like, hey, this man is, his woman ain't taking care of him. Women can be very intuitive and pick up on a lot of things that men don't. And I've seen women exploit that. It's like, yeah, she got him because she saw where the weaknesses where it was missing, and she pounced on it. He didn't even see it coming. And this train just slowly coming down the tracks. He didn't even see it coming.
Uh, eh, Callie?
Like Dion said, this is a slippery slope here. I don't I'll say I don't have a problem being on the phone with people because he's not a talker. He don't like to talk on the phone. So to occupy time, and not saying that I'm talking to just men, and especially not another man that is interested in me. So I don't see a problem with talking, because it's not gonna go anywhere because I'm already in a relationship. This is just conversation. It's nothing sexual. It's not even emotional attachment at this point. It's just talking to hear yourself talk.
Can I
Okay.
piggyback what you just said though?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
The challenge is that you don't even see it. It's like this person has an agenda. They got, and it's I can tell you this is guys. We don't always come in, fast and furious. Is like, yeah, it's like it's you got some slick people out there, and it's like you don't even see it till it's too late, and you don't even realize this person's almost been like grooming you and like prepping you. It's like a slow, gradual thing, and they can take. And some guys will wait months for it. It's like, yeah, I got time. I'm a slowly chisel at this, slowly chisel, and you look up, and it's like, you telling them secrets and stuff like that, and it's like, man, I really like talking to this guy. Like I said, it ain't always so obvious. So it's a challenge. And sometimes it's almost you got to be like, no, because I think the challenge is you don't know what somebody's ulterior motive is, or there's situations too where they didn't come in with that motive and it developed. So it's a lot to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, what I'll say is what the determining factor is your intent. That's what it all comes down to. If you're just having innocent conversations with someone, then that's that's not a problem. But if you have ulterior motives, like if you're attracted to this person and you're trying to, get to know this person, and then if you're not being honest with your spouse about the situation and what your intent is, then that's cheating right there. So it's all about your intent. I have a female friend, and she's been my friend for 25 years, and she's very attractive. I mean, like she's been on the podcast before talking about Nikki, and I look at her. She's just my friend, and I have no desire to have anything sexual with her because she's my friend and I know too much about her. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So the thing is, like, we talk every night, and it's not nothing with us having a conversation. We talk about everything from her family issues to sex, and it's not a big thing to us because we established that relationship a long time ago that we're just friends. So it's just one of those things, man. Like, it's all your intent.
Right.
Now I have had females that I was attracted to that I had intentions of doing things with, but there are some females that I have had friendships with that I just wanted to be friends with.
Yeah.
So it's all about your intent. That's what it all comes down to.
Right.
And for me, I guess it's also you have to hear the story of how they met. So, if he came up to me like, how'd you know him? And the story was like, he was giving me compliments. He'd be like, do you have a boyfriend and stuff like that? That's going to be his intent through the whole time y'all talk. Like Dion was saying, sometimes it take months and he might be talking to 4 or 5 girls. So he's not in a rush to try to, get anywhere. So he's being your friend. So he's like, one day, I might slide up in there when she's weak or something like that. So,
but what?
I'd have. What's that?
You know what, Bernard? So, but I can see what you're saying is true, but I can also see that it's not true because when I first met Nikki, I had the biggest crush on her. I thought she was just so pretty to me. Like I really, really liked her. But then as I got to know her and I started talking to her and I started like knowing, intimate details about her life and all that stuff, I wasn't interested in anything more than just a friendship with her.
So you friend zoned her.
Yeah.
well, we friend zoned each other. It wasn't just her, Like I know way too much about her, man. So I could never date her.
Right.
But let me ask you, if when you first met her, I hate to, get you in emotions. Like if she had have said you real handsome within like the first week of y'all talking and she wanted to smash, would you have smashed though?
Oh hell yeah.
So
Hell yeah.
You know, she done forgot who you talking to.
Because at the time I was 20 years old, so I was a horn dog. So yeah,
right.
I would have smashed her. Yeah, of course.
So I hate to get personal, but could it have possibly been because you saw it wasn't getting it anywhere, and you actually saw her real person, and you probably found somebody else, and you were smashing them? So the I guess the intention and the drive kind of went away from her to other people. I mean, I'm not saying I'm not saying you're a bad person or anything, and she is a great young woman, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, could it have been because y'all didn't smash, y'all didn't get anywhere romantically, and y'all just decided to be friends,
I think at one point we both like were attracted to each other, and then it just went the opposite way because when we knew too much about each other. Like she knows everything about me, I know everything about her. So it was just like one of those things. It was like I don't know where it went off to the friend zone thing, but it definitely was, the friend zone thing. Like we don't see each other that way at all.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've
I'm
had
sorry.
one like that.
So I would like to answer this all the question that I asked. If everybody's finished talking, I'll
Okay,
wait.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Mhm.
So I've learned in my years that when I'm dating someone, I can't expect them to be everything that I need. So I'm going to probably say I'm probably an emotional cheater, not a physical cheater though.
Hmm.
And so for me, I work from home and I generally date men that don't like to talk as much as I do. So I find communities like this one where I can talk and you know it's like a break room. Like if I worked in a brick and mortar setting, I would talk to people in a break room. So that's how I look at it. I don't use it to try to hook up with anybody. It's just to maybe talk about things that have happened in the week, my kids. And sometimes I do discuss things that have maybe happened, in my personal life. But I would do that in a break room setting. So um for me, I think I would prefer to be an emotional cheater over a physical cheater. So, you know, that's my
Okay.
answer.
Okay. So this I'm gonna piggyback off of this topic. Is it okay to have an at work boyfriend or a girlfriend or at work wife or husband?
Nah, hell no.
Okay, explain.
Yeah, for a number of reasons. Uh, it could lead to you doing things that that boyfriends and spouses do, or boyfriend girlfriend spouses do. So it can become physical. But the bigger issue is that there's a great chance that that's not going to play out. At some point, it's going to fizzle, and it may even get to the point where somebody got to get a new job because it's like, hey, we had a relationship at work, and now it failed it's gonna be a problem. And I remember a long time ago, um, I had this job, and this dude said something. And at first, I didn't get it, and then somebody explained to me. He said, "Don't dip your pen in the company ink."
Pen and company ink.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
and one of the things in my career in law enforcement that I worked for a very large agency, a lot of people, a lot of nice women, a lot of beautiful women. And one of the things that I was always proud of is that I never messed around. Okay, I never messed around seriously with anybody at my, but I always made sure it wasn't at my station where I worked. It was somebody that worked in another facility or another unit because I like going to work. I always like my job. I like doing what I'm doing. And I didn't want to deal with the issues of like, okay, this relationship don't work. And now I got to deal with the fallout.
Michael,
And because now I'm dating
take her
somebody,
outside.
she dating somebody. So nah, that's a bad idea. That's if you attempt there or you ain't gonna be there long or something like that, yeah. But if this is your real job, that your bread and butter, and then a lot of agents, a lot of jobs have like policies in their HR and stuff
No
about that. Like,
fraternization.
nah, don't, you messing up the money. Those are
Mhm.
great lawsuits.
Yeah.
So nah, hell no. That's a no. That's not a no. That's a hell no. Don't do it. It's find you somebody outside to work. Yeah, and then hey, did you miss me? No, I didn't miss you. I saw your ass all day at work today. Like I got to see you at work and at home. Like pick one.
Right.
Yeah. All right, Venaris.
Can't hear you,
I hear you.
Can't hear you.
Bernard.
I thought he was thinking it first.
I did too.
That's like, damn, he did. He put some thought in this.
Does he know we can't hear him?
I don't think so. He might have to go out and come back in.
I just sent him a message, so hopefully he'll see it. Yeah.
Okay, Callie, what do you think?
Yeah, no. I don't want I don't want anybody from work or when I was living in apartments in my complex because that can cause a problem. Too close to home.
Oh yeah, definitely don't date anybody that live in your apartment complex. Oh my God.
I did that, but he didn't know I lived there. So he lived in the front. I lived all the way in the back building.
So he never came to visit you?
No. I made sure of
Hey,
that.
Dion, I can't hear anybody but you.
Venaris,
We can't hear.
you still can't hear you.
And Angie is saying that she can only hear me.
Can y'all hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Something's wrong with my mic.
Angie, can you hear Norris?
No.
She can't hear me?
Let me leave and come
Angie,
back.
jump out and jump back in.
Yeah. But yeah, I say, yeah, I don't fool with nobody at work or where I stay.
Okay.
Do they
You're
want me to
lucky
leave
you
and
get
come
to
back
know where I
down?
live.
Can I ask you something, Callie?
Huh?
So you guys were in the same complex and he didn't know where you lived, right?
Correct.
So that means you went through the motions of like, all right, man, I'm about to head out, go home, and then you would get in your car and drive.
I wouldn't even get. I would walk to his apartment. I would walk over there. He didn't know what kind of car I drove. I told him I was driving right here. I was like, oh, I'm be right back. I forgot something.
You were selling it. You was like, yeah, all right, man. I'm hey, I'll call you when I get home, and you wait about 20 minutes. All right, I'm home.
Exactly. Exactly. Or tell him I'm on my way and leave 20 minutes later. Yep.
So let me ask y'all that question because I've dated 3 girls who have been in in the past, they've been in my apartment complex. No problem, even after we broke up or whatever, So what is the reasoning people give for not dating somebody? And I guess I'm just the minority of nothing ever really came about of it. So, I mean, what's the problem with it?
I could. Has everybody spoken? I don't know.
No, go ahead, Angie.
No, go ahead, Angie.
So mine has never been where I live. Mine was where I work. And Dion, I wholeheartedly, because of this experience, believe in that catchphrase that you said. So I had a work husband, and I thought we were cool. it turned into uh, a fling, I guess you would say.
Hmm.
And when I basically was afraid that like people were starting to notice that he was like coming to my desk too much, I was like, okay, like, cut it out. You know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
they didn't want to cut it off. And I had to end up leaving my job that I didn't want to leave because it got that out of control. Like if they called, I didn't answer the phone. They was coming over to my desk talking about why you didn't answer when I called. So I would never do that again.
You had a stalker.
Yeah, you did.
Mm.
Oh wow. He hit you with the a fatal attraction. I will not be ignored.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to leave my place of employment because like he would come over to my desk and be like, I called you, why you didn't answer? And people was looking like, why is such and such from another department always
Yeah.
over here?
Hmm.
And that sucks if you like that job. Like if you really like that job, it's
Right.
be different if you like the job, but that sucks.
They
Yeah,
say
Yeah.
hard lesson learned, huh?
it
Now,
was.
okay. So now since everybody answered, we're gonna get to Vanaris's question. Why you say that it's not a good idea to mess with somebody in your apartment complex?
Yeah, because I've dated, I mean, in my whole life, I've dated, three women, and it was a pretty long, like 3 or 4 months. I've dated them, and then we just broke it off and decided to date other people. I mean, I can understand the concept, I guess, with certain people like that stalking thing, but I've just never really had a problem. I guess because I get to know the women before, because they're in my neighborhood, so I know if they're a stalker, if they're crazy. So I know them before I get to date them. But when we call it off, it's just like a mutual thing. And I see them with their boyfriends, they new boyfriends or something like, "Hey, how you doing?" So I don't know. I just never understood it. I guess if you
Okay.
just
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and start this one off because I can tell you why.
Hmm.
Okay. For one, if you date someone in your apartment complex and y'all start messing around and then you don't talk to the person no more, then when the new person that you're talking to comes over and then they see that person going to your apartment, then that could cause some problems. Then
Yeah.
you start causing confusion or talking about, oh, you going over to Marzell's house. Oh, okay. Well, you are one of many and all this and all that, throwing shade. It's just, yeah, I never will date anybody that's in my apartment complex.
It's like
You've
a,
yeah.
been
it's a
very
boomerang.
fortunate, Vanaris. You've been very fortunate.
I mean,
Yes.
but I don't date no
Right.
trash, like that whole boomerang Gina situation. I
Yeah.
don't date women that's snapping their fingers and I'm keeping it real and all that stuff. I date sophisticated women who, already level headed. So like I said, I'm not into ghetto. I'm not into anybody who's loud, anybody that's been arguing with other people. I don't attract trash. So
But the
But
thing
but
is,
it's not I mean, but classy women get jealous also. It has
yes.
nothing to do with, your
Exactly.
upbringing,
I'm telling you,
your
Exactly.
man. I'm
income.
telling you.
I know
I,
women that make well over six figures that, excuse my French, I'm gonna use the term, will nut the blank up if they see somebody moving on and they're happy
hmm
without them.
and then you have shit like this where the person will show up at your door knowing that you have company over there and knock on your door.
what
Knock on your
what
Hmm.
door and
well,
and
the thing about it,
will
that's what I
will
tell you about when you bring strange women over. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you got to get to know them first before you even know what you stay at. You know what I'm saying?
no
Because the
no
same
no
thing could
no
happen to you
no
too, you know?
no. These women already know where I stay at. I've had problems with women that know where I stay at that live in the same complex. I've never had a problem with a woman that didn't stay into my complex. That's what I'm saying. Like it's totally different. It's
And
totally different.
I think the factor is that a woman that doesn't live in your complex She got to make some effort. If she want to cause a problem,
Yes.
she got to make effort. The woman that lives there is already there.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people
Well, I get-
can be very vicious. Like if you live in the same apartment complex, right? Let's just say you have a year lease. Okay. You may have even stopped fooling with this person and something has, they could have dated somebody after you. And then they have a period of been by themselves and they're like, oh, you know what? I really miss Venaris. And Venaris is out here happy trailing with a new person. And then all of a sudden these thoughts are in their mind. You know, cuffing season is coming up. And they're like, you know what? Venaris, he dumped his trash in front of my apartment complex and he knew I wasn't supposed to do that. The apartment complex will be like, okay, well, we're gonna find Venaris because why is he you see what I'm saying? People come up with all kind of stories and stuff like to be vindictive. You just never know, like, and I'm not putting this on you at all, you know, but I'm just saying just because it hasn't happened doesn't mean that it can't happen. And when you're there with a woman for a whole year and women or men have time to think about now they're by themselves, people come up with stuff. They just do.
Yeah.
And whoever's been
Yeah.
living there the longest, that's who they're gonna believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
that part.
Mhm.
Yeah. I don't know. I just got I'm not saying I would or wouldn't date somebody else that was in my apartment complex. But I mean, if we just mesh, I'm not going to say, hey, we match and we get along and stuff like that, but I can't date you because you're in my apartment complex. I mean, if I'm dating them and they stay that close, that means I've known them, I've talked to them every day. And you can tell generally, and you can learn about their past relationships too. And I don't know. It just I wouldn't recommend it for everybody because some people just horn dogs and just jump into a relationship, not know the person, what I'm saying, just because they smashing. But I don't know.
When
It
y'all
just
supposed to be moving out of that complex.
nah, I don't.
Well,
I get
the phrase that I would say is don't shit where you eat.
Exactly.
Mhm.
I've heard that before.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
That is one of the most relevant things.
Bernard said, I've heard that before, but I'm gonna do it anyway.
yeah. It's just like I don't know. The whole time I'm thinking, I'm like, y'all just didn't know these people or something. I don't know. It's
He's like,
just
well, what if I shit over there in the corner?
yeah.
Oh man.
I'll say this. I don't know about you. I'm not the most friendliest person. I'm not trying to get to know everybody in my complex. So if I happen to meet you and we vibe at that particular moment, you still not, even if you know I live in that complex, I probably won't talk to you. Just because you're too close. I gotta have this is my safe haven. I don't care what else is going on. This is my peace right here. And you can't disturb my peace.
Right.
Yeah,
And here's another catchphrase. You heard that a woman scorned. Man, some of these women, you done moved on with somebody else. They'll bring somebody to their house, have them come rob you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's the same thing I keep telling Marcel. Everything y'all keep saying, I'd be like, that's why you shouldn't bring these women over your house and you don't know them. I was like, just don't meet them at the club and bring them home because they can do all these things. And that's the same thing I be telling him. It's like,
Okay,
they can
let
bring
me
them
give
to a
an
hotel.
example.
Don't bring them to your house.
Let me give
But
an
you know
example
what?
of why I think Marzel's situation is different. When I was
I've
growing,
never
I'm sorry.
no, I would let me say this. I've
Mhm.
never experienced a bad situation like that. Like I've had women at my house plenty of times and never had no problem.
Yep. And same way with me with dating women in my apartment complex. I've never had a problem, So
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying yes or no. And like I said, I would probably tell other people, and it's not a good idea, But if I rarely see her, I don't know. It's just not a thing where I say no, I can't date you because we in the same apartment complex. Now, if we would, like I said, I think I was trying to ask this question too. What's the difference between a work wife and just a work girlfriend and a girlfriend? Because I see that as the same thing. There's no difference. It's just a girlfriend is a girlfriend. So,
Well,
yeah, and the work is a little bit tight knit. You know what I'm saying? I could
Mhm.
stay on one side of the apartment complex. She could stay on the other. I could never see her. You know,
And
so
that was my situation.
Well,
mhm.
okay, so Bernard's so when I was a child, and I'm just gonna tell you this story to kind of bring light to what you're saying. When I was a child, we used to go skating twice a week, right? Our
Uh-huh.
house was broken into about twice a month. When they finally figured out who did it, it was our next door neighbor. It was not somebody that came from another neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
And it was because they were so close, they developed a sense of our habits.
Right.
Right. But were you
So
dating
that's
them
all
though?
I'm saying. No, no, no,
Were
no.
you
But what
date?
I'm saying, no, I was a child, so I wasn't dating. But I'm saying
Oh,
when
you a
you
child.
live
Okay.
in the same community, people are able to know your habits. They're able to
Right.
know when you're home, who's coming in,
Mm-hmm.
when there's no distance. That's all I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But I mean, but if it's working for you, it's working for you. But you've been very fortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's with
I,
everybody. That's if you become good friends, with anybody in your apartment complex. And it used to be the thing of back in the day, the older people who are 50 and older used to tell me, when I was growing up, everybody had each other's house keys and, we used to pick up each other's kids. I guess it's not that way anymore. You know what I'm saying?
No.
So
No,
that's
it's
why,
not.
you know, I
And
don't tell everybody everything in my apartment complex, but
mhm.
but as far as
Just
dating,
be
I guess because I'm
careful.
a cool dude too. So there's no revenge type thing, you know what I'm saying?
Let
I
So
me
think
ask
you're a
you, did
great
you
person, but
yeah,
I'm sorry, but just be careful of being labeled community D also.
that
oh,
too.
Because
okay.
women do talk.
oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, I see.
Yeah. I was gonna say, yeah.
yeah. Word of mouth is something else. Women
Mm-hmm.
talk just like men. They be like, oh yeah, he know how to do this and he know how to do that, and and they'll be like, oh he got this in his pants and all that. Yeah, they'll be out there talking for real.
Yeah,
You're
they'll
right.
be like the brother at apartment 4B, he's a freak a leak.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. They,
Because
they,
I
they,
say I
be-
knew a few of them.
they be like, girl, they be like, girl, he lick everything.
I'm just saying, when you're in the same community, people do talk.
Mm-hmm.
They can
You're
spread
right.
that rumor. I started myself.
Uh-uh.
And you be like, and you be like, and he got a 10-incher. Like, let him know that too.
Like, you keep writing this stuff on the wall, Vanessa.
I know, right? For a good time.
Apartment 232.
You know what I had to learn? I had to learn, and I'm 56, and I had to learn and I learned this when I was single, is that to really like pay attention, because I think with us as men, especially when we're younger, in our 20s and maybe even our 30s, we see the red flags and we see the words and stuff, and we just like focus. We just like, I want that and all other stuff, and I got to a certain point in my life was like, pay attention, like, hey, that lady in my complex, man, she's nice looking, she's friendly, she always speaks to me, and it's like, you know what? Keep it like that. That's your neighbor, and keep it like that. Don't be flirting with her, talking to her, and getting that, because it could lead to something. It's like, no, even though it seems at the moment a good thing, I know from experience is like, hey, there's a chance this may not work out. There may be a problem. Let's not take that risk. Let me find somebody that don't live in my complex or don't that's
Mm-hmm.
working with me. It's like, hey, this coworker, man, we eat lunch together, we cool, and we got we've known each other for years. Keep it like that. Like, no, like, hey, I mean, the lesson I had to learn was that as fun and entertaining it could be, you can't get them all. You can't, and you'll spend a lot of time and a lot of energy and a lot of money trying to knock them all down, and you can't. You can't.
Mm-hmm.
And there should be some women that this is my friend. This is my, we ain't never messed around. We ain't never did that. This is my home girl. This is that, and it's good to have that, because yeah, like I said, you look back and you be like, man, I spent a lot of time chasing these women just for what?
Right.
I wasn't even serious.
Yeah.
I was just chasing them.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's very true. Like you definitely have to have discretion when you're doing the dating thing because some women are not worth approaching and some women are. So
Mm-hmm.
it gives you because look, I knew there was a chick that I knew she was bad news. I knew she was gonna blow up my spot, but I wouldn't mess with her anyway because
How old were you?
huh?
How
I
old were
was
you?
I was 33,
Okay.
and I wouldn't mess with her, and it wasn't good. It didn't turn out good, but hey, it was an experience, you know.
It's a good thing that you experienced that. It's a bad thing if you didn't learn from it because you're gonna go through it again.
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
no, I learned from it. I learned from it. You
Yeah.
look, I already look. I had a similar situation happen, and I shut it down. Like, nah, I'm not gonna do that because it's not like it was basically a chick that I work with, and she got in her feelings, and she
Mm-hmm.
went to my wife and told my wife about what was going on between me and her.
Oh
And
wow.
but the thing is, at that time, me and my ex-wife, we were going through do a thing where she was doing her thing, she was doing, and I was doing my thing. So it
Yeah.
was like one of those things like we didn't care what the other one was doing. But the fact that old girl tried to blow up my spot, I was like, you know what? I don't need to mess with nobody I work with. So I did it one more time. I
Yeah.
did.
So
I
the
did.
fire wasn't hot when you put your hand on it.
It wasn't hot enough. I did it. I did it one more time, and then after that time, I stopped doing it. I haven't messed with anybody I work with since.
Oh
Yeah.
goodness.
Hey,
Yeah.
I don't know if the rest of you guys are paying attention, but there's certain things when it said. And are you guys paying attention to Callie's facial expressions to her response to these things?
I see it.
It's it's hilarious.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah,
now
there's certain
I'm
things.
gonna have to,
What'd you say, Callie?
I said I'm gonna have to turn my camera off.
No, that's how I'm enjoying being here to see like somebody say something like,
I, I know that
Bernard, I
like
have a question.
okay, go ahead.
So, do you date women in your complex? Is it for convenience, or
I
like
mean,
what?
I
I'm just
I
curious
did
what the reason is.
well to be honest, I'm not really dating right now because it's just too much of a headache. Plus, this Cream Style Forever thing is really catching on, and I got a lot of positive stuff going on, and dating kind of gets in the way, because I'm about to blow up. I even got a part in this movie about the Challenger that they want me, the director, picked me for about 5 days straight. So trying to chase after a date and get to know people is kind of gets in the way. So I've been concentrating on myself. But to me, it's like if we click, we click. You know what I'm saying? Like if I talk to somebody and I know that they're not full of crap, they're not aggressive, me and her can talk or whatever. Then it doesn't matter where they stay at or whatever. I've never had a problem. But I learned, like brother was saying, Dion, you learn little signs as you go along. Like if I'm on one of those dating websites and I say, hey, how you doing? I ain't doing too good. I got this going on. I don't know what I'm gonna do. They trying to manipulate me out of money. And there's other little signs too, that
like,
I
I don't know
can.
what you're gonna do either.
What you say?
You tell them I don't know what you're gonna do either.
It's
Uh huh.
right.
I be like, I drive a BMW, black man walking. I ain't got no car. You still want to date me? You
Mm.
know. So I don't know. It's just I'm sorry. I think I answered your question. But yeah, I've dated one or two, and it was very short. But it's just I just and I'm talking about even before I got married too, and a couple when I was in the military, and you know um you know, like in the barracks and stuff like that, and since I've been divorced, and that's been no problem. You know what I'm saying? It's just I don't
Oh,
know.
convenience.
That's what it
Well,
sounds
it
like.
was just there. If I had met them at Walmart or here or
Okay.
wherever, you know, it's not like I'm looking for a woman that's a convenience in my apartment complex. It's just that so happened that they were just there. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
it's not like, hey, I only gonna date women in my apartment complex. That's not it. It's just I just happened to meet them there, maybe at the pool or something, you know. So
Does your dating profile say must live within a 200-yard radius?
Right.
no, it says
Must live-
I'm a lover of
must live
Power
next door.
Rangers.
Yeah. Must live within walking distance.
Must know who the Green Power Ranger is.
Oh goodness.
Hey, on his profile, he's got it's morphin' time.
No, that's what I yell when I orgasm.
Yeah.
Oh
Hey,
man,
that's a good way to have them grab their shit and go home. It's
yeah, I
like,
know, right, right.
you ain't
Yeah,
got
Hey, I ain't gotta kick him out.
At the, right
Yeah,
at the point
right.
at the point of orgasm, he's like pterodactyl.
you can be rest assured they are not there when you come out your bathroom. They are gone. They are dressed and gone.
Like, ooh, baby, cowabunga.
No, no, not the turtles.
Oh man.
Yeah, man, all choked up.
Oh man. Well, this has been another episode of the Nothing Serious podcast. I would like to thank all my guests for coming on. Callie, Mr. Dion. Is there anything that you want to tell us about that you got going on, man?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just, I mean, you guys see I'm in my studio, so I produce music for myself and other people. So this is, you guys want to follow me on all the platforms. It's Ding Music, DingMuzik.
Okay. All right. And that's on. You have an email?
Yep. Ding Music. So again, DingMuzik @gmail.
Okay. All right. All right. Vanaris, you you got something going on you want to tell us about?
Nothing really. Tell them to get on my YouTube channel, Crane Style Forever, KraneStyle Forever. It's on YouTube, it's on Facebook, and they'll have all my updates. I'm gonna have another podcast pretty soon. I'm still taking suggestions of what we want to talk about. Like I said, mine is non-controversial. It's family oriented. So if you want to bring your kids on it, you can. We did the Mandela Effect, and everybody loved that one. I might do that again. I usually talk about 80s and 90s TV shows and movies. So I was thinking about talking about the UPN channel and black shows, and the Different World just came out with a new series. The trailer just dropped, and I might want to talk about
Yeah.
that.
Yes.
So yeah, and I can't wait to see it. Usually I don't like these remakes, but Debbie Allen it's just magnificent. She is so
It
talented.
is fantastic.
Oh, I'm
have
gonna
it
have
on
to.
Netflix.
Yeah, when you get a chance, send me that trailer, man, because I've never seen it. I haven't seen
You
it.
It's
haven't
on
seen it yet?
YouTube. It's on
Yeah.
YouTube, Marcel.
Okay. All right.
Mhm.
Okay.
So we might talk about black shows this time, like what happened to the UPN channel, what was that other black channel that had
WB. WB.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah, I think it is. Has
That
sister
is.
sister and all that on there.
Yeah, WB.
WB. Yeah.
And there's some other shows y'all don't probably remember. It had what's the one with Patti LaBelle? It had Dwayne Martin, and they was
Talking
at
about
a
out all
club.
night. Talking about
Was
all
it out all
night.
night?
Yeah.
Okay,
Parent
so
Was it the
Marcel,
Parent
you'll be
Trap?
my trivia partner. If we
our
ever
parent trap.
categories of movies,
Mhm.
Huh?
you would be my trivia partner. If there is ever a trivia pursuit with movies, you would be my partner because you'll own it.
Oh, That's what I'm gonna do. Thank you, Angie. I'm gonna invite you to my next podcast, and you and Marzell gonna be team one, and I'll have like 80s and 90s trivia. And so that would be a great idea. Thank you for the idea. So and then Callie, you and Dion could be on the team, and then get
Okay.
Lamar his wife.
Hey, we can't have them together. They got to split up. That's not fair.
As long as y'all don't Google, I don't care, you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so that's it. Oh,
All right.
No. I was just thinking about something. Never mind. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
You have anything, Angie?
I just always have a question. I'm curious, George, on here. So
Okay.
I was recently introduced to cock rings, and I was just curious. Can you put those in the washer and dryer?
oh God.
I think you hand
I
wash
think
them.
Yeah,
I think you
hand
just
wash.
have to. I think you just have to hand wash those, just like you would do any toy or whatever.
Yeah, I would hope you would clean it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
mild soap and water.
That is a great way to end the show.
You have to end it like that dude from Star Trek. Oh my.
Oh man. All right. Well, this has been another episode of the Nothing Serious podcast. I want to thank all my guests for coming on. I appreciate you guys, and we'll see you next week.
All right. Holler at you later.
All right.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye,
Bye.
y'all.